I have a super fun episode planned today. We got driver announcements, we're going to react to probably the worst top 25 NASCAR drivers of all time list I've ever seen, and a whole lot more. We're also going to be opening up some mail that you guys have sent me, so let's get to it. How's it going, everybody? My name is Eric and welcome once again to Out of the Groove. Midweek episode, lots of fun stuff to look at and react to. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. We got a lot of stuff to get to though, so I'll start out with some of the more heavy-hitting news of the week. We have breaking news on Out of the Groove. It was just revealed this afternoon that Johnny Sauter will not be racing in that 21 truck for GMS this season. According to Jeff Gluck on Twitter, he was informed of this decision yesterday, so this has suddenly come out of nowhere. A month and a half before the season starts? Less than that even? The silly season on the Cup side had finally kind of, calmed down for the time being, but now we got one of the biggest bombshells of the offseason hitting us in the middle of January. Now Johnny Sauter, remember, won the Truck Series Championship just 2 years ago. He's been a contender ever since he's been in that truck. He's one of the best drivers in that Truck Series, but he's also one of the older ones, one of the, older vets. There's been no reports as to who's going to take over that ride yet, but I've heard rumors that Brett Moffitt, good old Brett Moffitt, who, was kind of had to be dropped by Hitori Enterprises, could be the favorite for that seat. I don't have any hard evidence, but I've just heard through the grapevine that that is what's happening. But you never know, that could just be wishful thinking. I've heard Ross Chastain's name thrown around. I don't think that's very realistic. Needless to say, whoever ends up in this 21 truck is going to be a championship contender and is going to be one of the favorites to possibly win it all. Especially if Brett Moffitt goes there, he's going to be a top contender to repeat. We'll see where this goes. This literally broke right before I turned the camera on, so we'll see where this goes in the coming days, coming weeks. But big news here in the middle of this week. Meanwhile, let's talk about another big Truck Series team that made big announcements earlier this week. Let's dive into that next. On Tuesday, Hitori Racing Enterprises announced that Austin Hill is going to be driving their number 16 truck here in the 2019 season. You'll remember that Hitori Racing had to let their championship driver Brett Moffitt go at the end of last season due to lack of outside sponsorship funding. They now have officially unveiled their driver, Austin Hill. He's brought sponsorship from United Rentals. Take a look at this truck here. Pretty sharp looking, I must say. I like the blue. Now, I'll be honest, I totally expected to be insulted by this announcement. I was afraid they'd put Natalie Decker in that car or some other driver that really had no truck racing experience and just kind of had the sponsorship money. But I'm happy to say that this Austin Hill deal honestly doesn't insult me too much. Austin Hill has been a driver that's kind of overachieved, I'd say, in lousy equipment the last several years. I think he's fairly well deserving. If it couldn't be Brett Moffitt in that truck, Austin Hill is not a bad bet. Little background information on Austin Hill. He's a former member of the NASCAR Next program. He spent the last 2 seasons driving for Young's Motorsports in the Truck Series. 2018 was his first full-time season of truck racing, and he had 6 top 10s, 1 top 5, and finished a respectable 11th in points on a relatively underfunded team. If we go back a little further, Austin Hill made a bit of a name for himself in the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. He ran that series full-time in both 2014 and 2015. In both years, he finished in the top 5 in point standings. Across his whole K&N Pro Series East career, he's raced 39 races and has 5 wins, which is a pretty decent ratio when you think about it. All in all, it's still, I think, a pretty decent deal. Austin Hill's kind of paid his dues for several years now and has overachieved in a lot of the cars and equipment he's been given. It'll be nice to see what he can do now that he's in a championship contending truck. I'm excited for him, and I'm not horribly offended because it doesn't seem like he's your typical pay-to-win driver that we've kind of seen come up through the ranks recently. Austin Hill, he's had to earn his way there. It's a shame that Brett Moffitt was the one who had to be let go as a result, but I think Austin Hill is fairly deserving of this ride. Now, Brett Moffitt still has not revealed any sort of plans for 2019. We've heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. say he'd love to hire Brett Moffitt to drive for his Xfinity Series team, but he'd need to bring his own funding. So that's going to be the big issue for Brett Moffitt. If he can't get any sort of partners to partner up with him, we'll see what he ends up with. I think he's obviously capable of winning. We've seen him win the truck championship. He could win in top Xfinity equipment. Hopefully he gets a ride somewhere. We still have, a month or month and a half before the season starts. Still some time for something to be worked out. Now, I told you guys this would be a fun episode. We got some fun stuff to react to. I saw this video on Twitter of Martin Truex Jr. turning laps in the number 19 car for the first time in his career. Several drivers, Martin Truex Jr., Daniel Suarez, and Joey Logano are all running test laps this morning at the Auto Club Speedway in California. This is the first official test of 2019 I've seen any drivers participate in. This is the first time we're seeing, kind of the new intermediate aero package, on the track. Obviously, with only 3 cars, we're not going to get any idea of how the pack racing aspect might come into play. But one thing I noticed in this little clip that Joe Gibbs Racing tweeted, look at that spoiler. We knew they were going to raise the spoiler, add downforce, part of the whole package, but look at this thing. It's It's so tall they even had to make the ends of it clear so that the drivers, it wouldn't block the driver's view at the rear windshield. These things are crazy. It's the first time seeing these in action. It's also the first time we're seeing Suarez drive the 41 on track, and the first time Truex is driving the 19 on track. So kind of interesting there. Also Logano there to represent the Ford camp as well. But pretty cool to see testing and our first official look at what, you know, these cars are maybe going to look like at some of the tracks this year. Also saw this goofy video this morning I thought would be fun to share. Kurt Busch's pit crew trying to do a pit stop blindfolded. I guess this is part of that whole Bird Box challenge. I have not seen the movie. I'm behind the curve. I don't understand the memes, but I guess you blindfold yourself and try to do daily tasks. Here they are trying to do a pit stop. I mean, look at this. This is really impressive. Well, yeah, okay, so the car fell off the jack. Yeah, that'll ruin it. Oh, geez, I mean, that's dangerous. That's actually pretty dangerous. You know, they say, Netflix had to put out an official statement saying, don't do this challenge. It could hurt people. Chip Ganassi Racing apparently didn't get the memo. But still, this is actually impressive. This video is 38 seconds long. So at the end of the day, they were able to do a blindfolded 4-tire pit stop in 38 seconds. Still not bad. That's not bad. I told you guys we're gonna have some fun on this episode. I'm trying my best over here. Last thing I wanted to talk about, there was an article that was posted the other day that I just happened to stumble across. This isn't from like, you know, a major news source. This isn't from like Fox Sports or ESPN or NBC Sports. This isn't from anything that you should take super seriously. But I saw this article, this little opinion piece from StadiumTalk.com, and it blew my mind. Kay Lee Davis over here at StadiumTalk.com decided to make their own list of the top 25 NASCAR drivers of all time. And let's just scroll through a few of these because this list is insane. Like at number 25, Alan Kulwicki, I get it. 24, you know, Buck Baker, I get these at first. But 23, Kurt Busch. I'm gonna go and spoil this for you. They don't have Matt Kenseth in their top 25. They don't have Brad Keselowski in their top 25. But they have Kurt Busch here at 23. Kurt Busch has 30 career wins. Matt Kenseth has 39. Kurt Busch has one championship. Matt Kenseth has one championship. There's no reason Kurt Busch should be higher on this list than Matt Kenseth. Matt Kenseth is 20th on the all-time wins list. How is he not in the top 25? I don't mean to be just a salty Matt Kenseth fan, but, you know, Matt Kenseth isn't racing anymore. He's not out there able to defend himself, so I have to defend his legacy from people like Kay Lee Davis over here. Kurt Busch better than Matt Kenseth is a joke. Sorry, Kurt Busch fans. He's great, but he isn't. If we keep scrolling, Mark Martin, okay, that's fine. Joe Weatherly, but then they got Joey Logano at number 20. Now here's the thing, Joey Logano asked me in 5 to 6 years, yeah, I might put Joey Logano in my top 20 of all-time favorite drivers. He's young, he's in good equipment, he's a great driver, obviously, but he's only got 21 wins and he has one championship that some people, you know, don't, you know, value as heavily as others. To put him in the top 20 on this list, ahead of Mark Martin, ahead of Kurt Busch, ahead of Brad Keselowski, ahead of Matt Kenseth, ahead of all these other big names. I don't understand it. I'm sorry, StadiumTalk.com. What is this list? Rusty Wallace, damn it. Rusty Wallace, Herb Thomas, okay. Kyle Busch at 17? I get that a lot of you guys like to hate on Kyle Busch, but he's already 11th on NASCAR's all-time win list. He has almost 200 wins across all 3 of NASCAR's major series. He has a championship. How in the hell is he 17th on this list? He's only 33 years old. He's gonna race for 10 more years easily. He's gonna win at least 70 to 80 races in his Cup Series career. Mark my words. If you're gonna put Joey Logano in the top 20 because he has a lot of potential, how is Kyle Busch not at least in your top 10? I gotta leave the room. Oh my goodness, this list is so offensive. I'm just glad that, you know, one of the major publications, I'm glad that ESPN and Fox Sports, I'm glad they didn't talk about this or put this in their rankings, because this is just, keep scrolling. Okay, Kevin Harvick, I can see him there. Terry Labonte, these are all mostly okay. Tim Flock, all right, fine. Tony Stewart's at 13th. I think that's a little low given, you know, he does have 3 championships across 3 different playoff formats. I think Tony Stewart's a little low on this list too, but alright, I guess I can live with that. Kyle Busch could be up here with almost all these guys. Lee Petty, yeah, I mean, Kaylee Yarborough's, okay, Kaylee Yarborough's better than Kyle Busch, at least at this point in their careers. Okay, I'll give you that one. Ned Jarrett, that's debatable. Bobby Allison, yeah, okay, Bobby Allison's good. Now we're in the top 10. Darrell Waltrip, these guys belong there. Fireball Roberts a little high. I mean, I know he didn't win any championships and he only has 33 wins. I don't know why he's this high on the list, to be honest. Same with Junior Johnson. I guess he won 50 races, but I don't know. Top 5, Jeff Gordon, okay, at 5th. Maybe a little low, but all right. Jimmie Johnson at number 4. I like how this list says he gets knocked points for winning in the Chase era. He won 5 straight championships. NASCAR literally changed the rules multiple times to try and make it harder for him to win championships. And he continued to win. He won the championship in 2016 under this crazy format we have now. Jimmie Johnson doesn't have to be in your top 2, but to put him at 4th seems a little bit disrespectful. He's got 83 wins. He's still racing, probably only for a couple more years, and we aren't sure how competitive he's going to be. This seems disrespectful though, given, you know, how many different formats he's had to win and just how dominant he's been in what's easily been NASCAR's most competitive era. This list just disrespectful. They can go on, put David Pearson at number 2, Dale Earnhardt number 3. Okay, these are all make sense. You know, Richard Petty number 1, fine. Okay, those are all fine. But man, the disrespect for some of NASCAR's more modern drivers. It seems like whoever wrote this list stopped watching NASCAR after like 2005 and just decided that all the good old days of NASCAR were in the 80s, 90s, and 70s and all that other stuff, and they must not think today's NASCAR has any merit. Although they did put Joey Logano at number 20, so I don't know where this list is at. I don't know where they were what they were thinking. I don't know. Anyway, I thought that was kind of fun. Do you guys agree with that list? Do you think Joey Logano is a top 20 NASCAR driver of all time already? Do you think that? Let me know. This list is crazy to me though. All right, let's go to mail. Remember, I have a P.O. box down in the description. If you want to send me some cool NASCAR stuff, I will show it off and shout you out in an upcoming video, just like I'm about to do right now. So I was out of town during the Christmas break for most of the winter break, but I'm back now. I picked up some new stuff. I had a couple pretty cool things I think were sent. We're gonna check them out here. I got some letters. I also got a package, so I'm excited to take a look. Got a letter here from Caleb from Missouri, I believe. Dear Estepp, my name is Caleb from Nevada, Missouri. Nevada, Missouri, is that true? Is that a city? Oh, cool. I actually have been a fan since the early 2010s, and I do have a few ideas on how to make the sport almost as popular as it was in the mid-2000s. And he goes on, appears to list several ideas. Let's look at these. Number 1, move the Daytona 500 to Sunday night. No, okay. I could see that perhaps. He goes into more detail here. I'm looking at it. I could see them moving it to Sunday night. I don't know. I don't have a problem with it being run during the day. Half the time it gets rain delayed anyways and they run it at night, so I don't know if that's a big issue. Number 2, get rid of the playoffs. Whoa, now we're getting somewhere. He had some details here. A 35 race regular season, but then the top 2 or 4 drivers get locked in by total season points, and then at Miami, they do a win of highest finisher wins the championship. So they're basically saying, all right, I don't know if I hate this idea, Caleb. He's saying a 35 race regular season, and then at the end of those 35 races, I guess, whoever's the top 2 or top 4, whatever they decide, in points, they move on to the championship race at Miami, and then I guess it's just how it is now. Highest finisher wins the championship. I don't know. It says here, old fans gets their point system, while the new fans get the best finisher gets all and everything. Honestly, it sounds kind of silly, but I wouldn't hate that. I don't know. That might be something that people could think about. Let me know what you guys think. Do you guys agree with Caleb? He says shorten the schedule and add more tracks. I can agree with that as well. I did a video last week about my perfect NASCAR schedule. I think that'd be a great idea. He has plenty of other ideas, it seems. I'm looking forward to hear them. Leave a comment, Caleb, down below. I really like reading all of you guys' comments, but those are some interesting ideas. Thank you for the letter, Caleb. I also got a Christmas card here from my good buddy here, Reverend Rasheem Stewart. Thank you so much for the Christmas card. Yeah, hopefully all y'all's holidays were fantastic and magical. Really appreciate the card, buddy. And now here we got a package, which I've taken a peek at the box at least, and I'm very excited to show this off on camera if it's anything close to what I think it is. I'll read the letter first here. This is from Jason in Connecticut. Dear Eric, I started watching your channel this year and I enjoy seeing your thoughts on topics on Out of the Groove and enjoy watching the Deck series. Well, thank you. Also saw that we both got into NASCAR and Matt Kenseth around the same time, and I honestly found that pretty damn cool. Anyway, I've had this diecast for about a year and thought you would enjoy more, so from one Kenseth brother to another, keep on keeping on. Sincerely, Jason. Thank you, Jason. I'm excited to see what's in this box. I already like what I see here, Jason. All right, take this off. Looks like Christmas came just a few weeks late, but better late than never. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Get a load of this diecast Matt Kenseth. This would have been, it's the Fusion. It must have been 2006, maybe. I think it was 2006. I think I remember he ran this only a couple races. I think I remember him running this at Daytona for like the Coke Zero 400 or something. I should look it up. Actually, wait, it says 2006 on the box. So, okay, yeah, 2006. I'll look up the race. Okay, oh, it was the Bud Shootout. Okay, well, it was Daytona, I guess. He might have run other races, but okay, I do remember him running this for the Bud Shootout one year, so I was right. Daytona, just not the correct race. This is awesome, though. Thank you, Jason. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to make room for the shelf. I don't have any of the other diecasts of the Gen 4 Fusion era. I have a bunch of I have a couple Kenseth and like a Biffle like Ford Taurus. I have like the the Gen 5 Fusion diecast. I have a couple of those. I don't think I have any Gen 4 Fusions. So this is, now that the Fusion's kind of leaving NASCAR this year, nice to kind of reminisce. But this is a beautiful diecast. Thank you so much, Jason. This is an awesome gift here. Thank you. I'll put it right here for now. I'll move it later, but I'll put it somewhere else up here. But thank you so much. That's amazing. Thank you to everyone who sent me letters, sent me stuff in the mail. If you've sent me something as well, I'll be checking periodically, so I'll definitely check it out, and I will show it off in an upcoming episode. That's all I got for today's Out of the Groove. Hopefully you guys had fun. I know I had fun. A little bit of news, a little bit of just fun things to talk about and look at. Stuff to debate is always great. But thank you all so much for watching. Remember, you can continue the conversation with me. Follow me on Twitter or check me out over on Instagram. Those links are both down below. Again, the P.O. Box address is down there as well. You can get t-shirts if you want an Out of the Groove t-shirt or hoodie. Those are also down in the description. All that great stuff. And then, of course, I have to give a big shout out to our Patreon supporters. Huge shout out to the crew, Michael Harrison, at GWasOfTheStars, SelfishGifts.com, Mentally Defective, Cameron James, Tice Moore, and the rest of these amazing Patreon supporters. They help this show continue to grow, and it really helps me out a lot directly. I really appreciate it. It means a ton to me. So thank you for the support. If you also want to become a Patreon supporter, check out that top link down in the description. I really appreciate y'all looking at that. As for me, I'm gonna be out of town this weekend again, but I might have a show up tomorrow or Friday. I know Jimmie Johnson's got some big announcements coming up. He's gonna be revealing his Ally financial paint scheme this Friday morning, so maybe I'll have an episode to talk about that, but we'll see. Nonetheless, next time I see you, we're gonna have a lot of fun. It's Out of the Groove. We always have fun. We always talk about NASCAR. Off-season's starting to wind down. We got testing now, so officially the off-season's starting to come to an end. Daytona 500's right around the corner. Probably gonna get here sooner than you realize. But thanks everyone for supporting me. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys again when I see ya. Bye-bye.